All right. Well, welcome to this interview. We're talking with God. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, first and foremost, to go on a quick chat about your journey in agency academy. So just to start off with, maybe do a quick intro to who you are. I think a lot of people are asking who the hell is God. So let's get started.
Yeah, so my name is Gard. I'm from Norway. I'm 22 years old. Um, you want me to say a little bit quick about my
Yeah,
gay
go ahead.
story? Yeah, so my story is pretty simple, I would say. I think we can actually go way back, because I started playing football. That was kind of like my first inspiration, my passion. I was 11, 12 years old, always like pushing, working hard, trying to be like this football player, wanted to be a professional football player. Um, Literally trained every single day, tried to become the best version, the best player I could be. Long story short, I basically played professionally from 16 to 21, I would say. And yeah, it was that time period. I played like semi-professional firstly, so I played semi-professionally, where I played second division here in Norway, and then I was gonna step it up and play first division. So then I moved um, to a city called Bergen here in Norway, where I was actually gonna study and play football at the same time in the first division. I moved in here with my girlfriend, and yeah, basically, long story short, I was going to do a trial. I did a trial with this team in here in Bergen. I did really well, and they wanted me to come and play. But when I moved here to Bergen, everything changed. So the coach was like, um, yeah, the coach was like, yeah, we have too many players now in the squad, and you're not going to be available right now. We don't want you right now, basically. And when you hear those words, like I've heard like people tell me no and not being in the squad many times, many times. So that's no problem. But when I first got that, because I was moving, I was studying at the same time. So now you're basically stuck in that position, right? So when he told me that you're not going to be in a squad, you're not going to be able to play here, and you need to play in the third division first to then go up, then that's what he told me. That's when all motivation like went away.
Yeah.
That was really tough period, because when you're working towards a goal basically your whole life, and then yeah, that was kind of like the end of it. So then I went to the third division. I played one game with this third division team, not as professionally, more people studying, partying in the weekends. It was not really my thing. Played one game, understood that this wasn't for me. So basically 1 or 2 weeks later, I literally quit football, which is like crazy for me. That might not sound crazy for some people, but it is literally crazy for me, because that was basically my life. So I basically that was maybe the toughest decision in my life. And yeah, 1 week later, I came across Agency Academy.
Mm.
I came across Agency Academy because I did a lot of research, because I knew I wanted to start a business. I wanted to start a business when I was 16, but when you're just so purely focused on one thing, I only want to focus on one thing at a time. Found out about Agency Academy, bought the course, and yeah, now I'm running a marketing agency doing 300,000 a month. So yeah, that's like one and a
So
half year later. So yeah.
so you kind of rebounds, right? You kind of rebounds from that pit hole. That makes sense. That makes sense. I think a lot of people, and it's also the reason why we are even having this chat, because you've done absolutely, I mean, incredible. For just imagine the people, if you were to see this interview before you joined the Agency Academy, someone is doing 300K per month. Because I've seen it from the coaching calls, just the progress you've done. It's absolutely insane. In the wins chat, you're just posting every like all the time. So you went. When did you join the 10K Euro club? So that is around 100,000 Norwegian.
Yeah. When was that? Maybe like, I don't know, what was it? It's like 7, 8 months
Yeah,
after joining Agency Academy, something of those lines. Yeah. I think
yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, and then you so maybe try to walk through people. So obviously you stopped football, but then you bought this course. How much time did you actually put into Agency Academy? And did you do anything else besides that in the period where you scaled to 10K per month?
All right, so I bought the course, and for me, I always wanted to start a business, but buying this course gave me like um the mindset. Because there is a lot of information out there,
Yeah.
but having a course like this where literally everything is spot on perfectly from A to Z, right? So you don't have to waste time, and you have mentor calls, you have people you can talk to. Like if there's a problem that appears, you can just ask them. It's like what the course is worth, it should be worth like 10 times more. So, but yeah, from that period, I was studying and running this business, and I actually had a job as well. So that was a really tough period because the studying, and you don't get money, so
No,
much
no.
money for that, which makes it really, really difficult. So I had to study. So I wake up in the morning, study, then I needed to be at work like 2, 3 times a week, and then I was working in the business late at night, like late at night and evening. So yeah, but I was spending a lot of time on building this business. Yeah, if that answered your question.
No, no, I mean people are probably curious. Can you actually do this? That's the main reason why people don't join. Can you actually do this besides? But I mean that kind of proves that point that if you are actually committed and ask for help, then you will probably succeed if you stick to it like through a longer period of time. So I think naturally people are probably pretty curious if you're open to sharing. So what would you think is the top two things that made you actually go from 0 to 10K euro per month in 7, 8 months, and then yeah, maybe that time frame first, and then scaling even further to 300K per month because that's really impressive. Like, what is the one takeaway throughout the period, just to keep it simple?
All right, the one takeaway. Oh, it's difficult, but uh, I would say the mix of like you need to be disciplined and you need to work hard. Like this isn't for everybody, but you need to have that. But at the same time, you need to listen towards people that has done this before. Like you need to have that mix. Like I always was talking. I was very curious. Like I was talking with you. I was talking with Maxime. I was talking with Lawrence, Axel. Like I was talking to everybody. Like
Mm.
asking questions, like a maniac, because I was so curious. I wanted to succeed, and for me, it was no other option than succeeding. Like that is the only thing. You try until you succeed. And with a lot of people, they are like afraid because they don't trust themselves. And why shouldn't you trust yourself? Like if you actually try your best, you're not gonna fail. Like if you actually put in work and you work until it's done, you won't fail. Um, but you have to listen and you have to understand the steps. You need to listen to the mentors, the people who have done it before. Like that's the only thing you need to do.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Yeah, I think you can't beat around the bush. It is probably the main key that is just sticking to it. But I mean, it's not just sticking to it. It's also because you can't just stick to it and just try to contact 100 businesses per day. But if you're not actually getting help and getting feedback on what you're doing, then you're kind of you know not going to go very far. So I think that's the combination really. So I think probably people are probably pretty interested. Like, what kind of niche? Like, have you changed niche over time? Like, how was that entire selection for you when you tried to choose a niche?
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah,
Because for me, I was just testing out what is my niche, and I was in different niches. I actually think it is for me at least it is the best to test out loads of things in the start to find out actually like what is going to be the best for you. So for me, I was starting in e-commerce. Like that was the first thing. I've always been like I'm not saying like I'm the most extrovert ever, but like I know sales. And I always like the first thing I did, I was calling e-commerce brands, like the biggest e-commerce brands in Norway, like calling like a crazy guy. And I was getting into a few meetings, like with these big e-commerce brands, and these guys were like, yes, that was the first niche I was going into. Like I was having a couple of meetings, but I didn't really close any of them because I didn't really have an experience. And in e-commerce, like you have to be a little bit experienced. Like it is difficult to get into e-commerce. So I understood that it was very difficult to get into it. So then I started like going into different type of local businesses and dentists and chiropractors, all these things. So,
Mm.
but then again, I think I got my first client. My first client was in e-commerce, actually, but that was like a friend of a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like a test, like just for me to get some experience. But my first proper client that I closed, like complete strangers, that was like a cleaning firm.
Okay.
I was a cleaning firm, like that is a very strange niche for me now, that I'm gonna go through. But so that was like
How long did it take you to get that first client also? That's probably also a question people have.
yeah. So the first client, that was like 2 weeks like after I started, because that was like a friend of a friend. But
Yep.
cleaning firm was like a 1.5 month.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, so they basically gave me a chance, but then again, it was the outreach, right? Um, and then I got a little bit into accounting firms because I thought that was a really good niche, and I actually think that is a good niche, but it just wasn't for me.
No.
So I bounced back again to e-commerce because I always been told that e-commerce is very difficult, and for some reason I always go towards things that are very difficult. So I went to e-commerce, and I really enjoy e-commerce. That's one of my absolute passions. I love e-commerce. So yeah, now I'm fully in e-commerce, only working with e-commerce brands, nothing else. I'm not distracted by any other niche. That is my only focus. So yeah, right now only e-commerce.
Yep. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that made you be able to, because if you had, it's not like it's impossible to have multiple niches, but it made it the service delivery easier, the outreach easier for you to scale further from the 10K
Yes.
to what is it? What is it even in euros? 300K. Let's see, Norwegian to euro, 26. Let's just round it up. 27.5. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's really impressive.
Thank
Okay.
you, man.
Yeah, because I've not seen the entire journey, but I've seen most of the journey when you began being active on my mentor calls,
Yeah.
asking all the questions. And that's what
Mm.
got you so far. Of course, also mainly your own hard work, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay. That's good. So if you were to look back time, talk to God from 1.5 years ago, around that time frame, what would you, other than putting in the work, what would make his journey go way faster? So let's say instead of spending 1.5 years to scale to very impressive numbers, most people don't even go there.
Mm.
What would make the entire journey a bit faster when you look back?
Again, like just listening more to the mentors because yeah, because like obviously you get a course, you get a lot of information, you listen, but for me, like yeah, even listen more. Because when yeah, a lot of us entrepreneurs have that thing in them that is like, yeah, I know this the best myself, and you don't listen to the mentors. If I listened a little bit more, I would probably miss like don't do some of the mistakes I did. Like so, if it's a mistake in sales or a mistake in yeah, I should have just picked up more information and listened more, I think. But yeah, I think I still listen very much though, but
I
it's
get you. I get you. I
a
got you.
difficult question. It's a difficult question, but yeah,
I
I
know.
still,
I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult, but it makes sense. It makes sense
yeah, I
because
think,
I think a lot of people just go through that entire process that if they find out that something kind of works or they just want to do it their own way, they
mm,
then even though they bought a program like Agency Academy, they don't for some reason they don't want to follow it to a T, even though it works. It's so strange.
yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah.
True.
Okay. So let's try to. So now we've heard the journey, the
Yeah.
results. What is your kind of future plans with your agency? Is it to keep being in the agency space? Is it doing something else? So let's say 6 months from now, we're having a talk again. Well, so yeah, what are you doing at that point, revenue wise, and maybe even any changes to the agency?
All right, so our agency is very simple. Right now I'm building a team. I'm building a team that is like my main focus. I want the team to have the best environment, place, culture. Like I want to create this winning culture within the team. Yeah, it's gonna be so fun. But like revenue wise, right now we're at 300,000. Obviously, the goal is to get at 400,000 and then become a 10 million a year, 10 million a year Norwegian company. So yeah, that is the goal. I only focus on agencies. I don't focus on anything else. I've had, you have this problem as an entrepreneur as well, this shiny object syndrome,
Yeah,
right? You get things, you get investments, crypto, all these things.
yeah,
You hear about this, you want to invest. But for me, I'm investing back into my business, building the team. Just want to create that culture and scale and keep doing the same things that I'm doing, but maybe like apply some extra types of services. Like
yeah,
for example, we have in our agency, we do a lot of advertising. We take over the content process, the email marketing, or maybe also take over. Like we just now got in a web designer within our team. Maybe also have somebody like specific for Google or like these things. So we're trying to figure it out as we go. Build the SOPs, build the systems for me to scale, for the business to scale, and also like you can always do better things in your business. Like it's always things to improve. It's always some time you wasted that you can outsource, or it's always some because it is a saying that if the CEO is still in the business and has to like be there for it to scale, it isn't a sustainable business yet, right? So
yeah.
it is a lot of work to be done. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. 10 million per year. I think you can do it 100%. If you've already gone that far, you should be able to just continue that. I think the main problem, as you say, is just the woman in the red dress, as Alex Hermosi also says. The more opportunity, the further you get, the more opportunities you get. And the
Um,
way you could probably fuck up would be, sorry for my, sorry, but that would be actually just trying to start an e-com company suddenly and using all your cash flow for that instead of investing in a really talented team. But I think you already you're on the right track, so that's really good. All right, I don't think I have that much more to this interview. I think this has really inspired a lot of people that they're looking at. Okay, he's 22, doing 300K per month Norwegian. Holy, this is actually possible. So thank you for that, and thank you for engaging in the community, and I mean actually being very active. So I can only see this scaling to 10 million. So let's focus on that. And yeah, thank you, God. Do you have any last words to the people watching?
yeah, I just want to say like it is possible. Like a lot of people just don't start. Just start. Like if you don't even close a client in a year, like the things you're gonna learn, the things you're gonna take out of this, like there's so many ways, things you can do. Like there's so much value, you get so much knowledge, there's so much the people you meet as well, the network, like the things for me now as an entrepreneur, like now I really understand the value. But when you're not, when you haven't started, like you don't understand the value of it. Um, but right now, like when you have people to talk to, like the job opportunities that you can get, like in my team, we are looking for more people coming in,
Yeah,
like for them to get more experience or join somebody else's team. You want to do marketing jobs or sales jobs. It's a perfect way to start off, for example.
yeah.
Like the chances, opportunities you have, the people you meet, like it is like one of the best investments you can do for your basically your whole life because and you don't even like obviously a lot of you guys watching this want to start a business, but the knowledge you are getting can get you an amazing job as well. So it's like, yeah, the opportunities are crazy. So just yeah, just do it, man.
Let's
Just do it.
go. Let's go. I think that's perfect. And just to recap, because I mean, not a lot of people know maybe what you're talking about there. So for a job opportunity, you're mentioning in AA, the job opportunities where, I mean, more successful agency owners are posting job opportunities for people. Maybe a good way to start off with, definitely, yes. So that's what he's mentioning, and probably something we'll be focusing more on, because that's a pretty good path to start off with to get the experience, because it's kind of the main problem that people have. But as we've seen from the story, it doesn't really matter your previous experience. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, God, for this quick chat. If people want to reach you, where can they reach you?
Yeah, they can reach me on Instagram, I would say. It's Gard Rogna. Just reach me out to me on Insta, and yeah, we can have a chat. If you have any questions, I'm here, man.
Or if you need a ecom partner, ecom growth partner, go ahead.
Exactly. If you need an e-commerce, like if you want an e-commerce brand, reach out to us. So yeah, that is yeah, that's where you can find. Yeah.
Nice, nice. All right, finger God, and yeah, talk soon.
Good man.